Welcome back, everyone. We're live on Facebook. So hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us, and we'll share the show. What I love about this show is it's from soup to nuts. We just go from one thing to the next, but also the information that people get. That's what people tell me that they love about this show, is that the information that's out there. And I'm excited about bringing on my next guest. He's a newbie with me. I have with me Darrell Stern, and he's the owner of Stern Marketing. Welcome to the show. I want you to tell everybody, get right up on that Mac, and I want you to tell everybody a little bit about you. And I know we have a lot of people out there, you know, that kind of do what you do, but what makes you different?
Well, sure, most definitely. So, welcome. I'm glad to be streaming again on the radio. I was on a radio show up in Denver for a while, and I'm glad you got in touch with me because I was like, be on the radio again? Yes.
Fun.
Like, I was just like, yes, let's do it. So, I grew up in New York, New Jersey. I was a kid actor growing up, got into all kinds of musical comedy.
Tell them who you were. Because it's huge.
I will. I auditioned for all kinds of different things, and then I went into audition for the role of Scooter Computer on Schoolhouse Rock. Now, if you're old enough to remember Schoolhouse Rock and Saturday morning cartoons in the 70s and 80s, the history of Schoolhouse Rock was there was a law passed that said that you can't just sell sugary cereal and Star Wars toys to kids all Saturday morning without providing some kind of educational content. So this advertising firm called Newell and Huey decided, well, let's do something educational, but let's do something different. So it was funny because back then, the kids couldn't remember the Constitution or the history of America or grammar, God forbid, or anything like that, but they could sing all the lyrics to a Rolling Stones song, like off the top of their head. Okay. So they said, why don't we put
right on
American history and math and science and all these things to rock and roll and write up rock and roll songs teaching it. So by 1983, this amazing new device was coming out. You might have heard of it. It's called the computer. So they wrote 4 recurring episodes of Schoolhouse Rock starring a little boy who on a skateboard, and he comes home and he's got this friend of his named Mr. Chips, and Mr. Chips is a computer. So it's a whole big musical number, and it's still streaming on Disney Plus, and it's all over YouTube and all that. And I was the voice of Scooter Computer. So I'm the little boy that introduced all American kids to computers. And so all those notifications on your phone and all that's my fault. I'm sorry.
That's amazing. but also, what goes hand in hand with what you do.
Well, yeah, eventually. I went on to write plays. I run the National Young Playwrights Festival in college. All I was doing was writing plays and directing actors and all that. In the 90s, I even did stand-up comedy, but it really wasn't taking off as a career, and I was getting to that point where I needed to adult. Like you could put on the Boo song, Boo, right? I had to adult, get a job. So in 1997, out come these little floppy disks at this store called CompUSA. They're out of business now, but you might remember these big computer stores. And it said, make a website. So this was fascinating for us, because if you go back to Star Wars 1977, the wizard guy, Obi-Wan Kenobi, says, plug in, you should be able to interpret the entire Imperial network. So we were thinking about the internet before the internet came along. We were dreaming about how these computers,
into us, right?
These computers could get hooked together and we could do something on a network. There's a movie called Tron that came out way early in the 80s that was the master control network. So we had the idea of it, and then all of a sudden it started to come to fruition, and here we are on this World Wide Web. So I learned it. There was no, classes for this back then. I was already in my mid-30s, so I learned it on the job, made an entirely new website for a software firm. But that was what was the period from 2000 to 2002 was called the dot-com boom. And just like the gold rush in America, right? Oh my gosh, this internet is going to fix everything. Dump billions of dollars into it. And if you remember, the IPO for Priceline literally said, look, we're 5 guys in a computer, we make no money. And the next day they were worth more than Continental Airlines, when that went public, because it was the gold rush. It was, let's figure it out. Unfortunately, a lot of that happened before its time. In other words, people thought they could get pet food on the internet, they were going to get all these things on the internet, but it wasn't quite time. We needed another 20 years or 15 years, for that to start to happen, where everybody, and this thing to be invented, the smartphone, right, which wasn't out then, where now we can tap and go and order our food and all that kind of stuff. So the internet speeds up, and all of a sudden we're streaming audio, and I'm sure this radio station is streaming somewhere on the internet. Then we could stream video.
We're live on Facebook right now too.
There you go, which is an amazing thing that we can use this device and just be a billion people can see this and all that. So I see business people now trying to do videos, and they're not actors. right? So I started doing an exercise where I interview someone and I go backwards to your life, and I really get all those kind of social stories that we would use to have you get people to know, like, and trust you on the internet. And then my friend, I said, I'm doing this crazy exercise, and he said, well, why don't you call it the Stern storming sessions?
I remember you bringing that.
Yeah, so that kind of changed my business around, because now I had an activity that was kind of patented to me, like kind of trademarkable to me. So 7, 8, 9 years ago, I'm working with a lady. I wrote the script for her landing page videos. In other words, the page that's going to get somebody to buy it, right? And I'm telling her, slow down here and really look at the camera there. And I really want you to stretch out this word and articulate this word. And she turns back to me and says, this is great. I need a theater director for my marketing. And I said, theater? I haven't done that in 35 years. Like, what are you talking about, theater? And then all of a sudden this came to fruition that you guys need help creating this type of new media, these short little videos and 4-minute stories and all that will really get someone to know, like, and trust you. So that really started then what is now the fastest moving video content marketing agency in the world, which is Stern Marketing.
It's interesting. I want you to explain to people out there how important it is for videos. And, I know people get videos from being on my show. We do
course.
that. But how important is it for people to have videos of their businesses that they're talking through, marketing through video?
Yeah, they're talking to potential customers. So here's a thing that I'll compare something to so that you'll understand, like, what the power is of videos, on the internet. Back in the day, we had this thing called voicemail, right? It's on a little cassette tape, had a little beep on it, right? And I go, hi, Carol. Yeah, I'm not going to make it today. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the car broke down. I love you too. Beep, right? And I would pause because I know later you're going to listen to it. And I would pause because I'm visualizing that you're listening to it with me now. That I'm talking to you. That I'm talking to you now, right? And you would listen to it later. So when you make a video that is going to be seen on the internet, it is not broadcasting. Like this is a radio show where we talk and it gets broadcast and everybody can listen on the radio. When I pick up my phone and I hear you talking about how you can help someone get out of addiction or how you can help someone, like the last guest did, it actually creates an illusion when you do it right, if you perform it right, that you're talking to me. So the secret is pause. Stop just rambling on and on and on. Stop presenting what your business does. Start being in the emotion and retell the story with real emotion, like the Stanislavski method of acting. It's another whole thing, like being really dramatic acting. And really make it feel as if, or create the illusion that this other person you care about. And that's the magic when theater comes into marketing. And most of the time, marketing now is buy this, do these ads, analytics and numbers and all this kind of stuff. And I say, what about the art? You have to really master the art of communicating this way, where you can make eye contact with a camera, imagine that it's somebody that's really hurting, that needs you, and move them so emotionally that they say yes.
Yes. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I know Doc and I, we did a television show. And what you do on radio, and this is going by so fast, when we do it on radio, it's one thing, right?
Right.
And I'm very visual. I am very, I guess you might want to say I like to be very outgoing and that. But when we did it on television, it took me a little while to get into it, but I can totally see how great it can be, where you are actually doing acting for your business, but you're actually just talking from your heart.
Super cool. Yeah, exactly. So it's funny because nowadays, with what you have to do to make your business work, I actually tell business people, take an acting class, take an improv comedy class, go visit Toastmasters, become a great public speaker, and then watch as your marketing actually starts to work.
We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk further. This is really cool.
Do you need to liquidate a home? You need someone that you can trust. With Loving Care, estate liquidators are here to help. When you hire them, they take care of everything, and all your troubles go away. Call for a free quote at 623-606-1966. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. See what our clients say about us. Go to withlovingcarestateLiquidators.az.com. You'll know you've called the right place. 623-606-1966.
Hi, I'm Randy Courtney, broker-owner of Weichert Realtors, Courtney Valley. White. Served in the Valley for over 37 years. We handle all your residential needs. If you're thinking about making a move, call me for an expert broker price opinion. Find out what to do to your home to maximize its value. You'll be surprised at what you'll learn and well worth the time with me. I will tell you what most agents will not. Call me today at 480-705-9600. At Courtney Valley White Properties, we handle your real estate needs, big or small. We handle them all.
KFNX Cave Creek.
Do you have a parent, grandparent, or loved one who needs some extra help? Senior Helpers has spent 16 years helping seniors continue to live at home as they age. Do you have a loved one needing help with grocery shopping, meal preparation, or even help taking a shower? Call Senior Helpers today at 480-621-6672. We specialize in helping seniors with Alzheimer's and dementia, Parkinson's disease, and other chronic illnesses to stay at home. You can find us online at seniorhelpers.com or at 480-621-6672.
What if I told you that getting Medicare coverage doesn't have to be a complicated process? Are you tired of being confused with the many coverage options available to you with Medicare? At Tapestry Insurance Group, let us help by taking the confusion and complication out of your Medicare options so you can get the coverage you need. Some available plans have no additional premium and may help lower your out-of-pocket costs. There's never a cost for a consultation with one of our licensed agents, so don't delay. Contact us at 602-541-7656 or visit tapestryinsurancegroup.com.
Are you tired of dealing with incontinence? Do frequent trips to the bathroom keep you up at night? Sudden urges when you laugh, cough, or sneeze? VJuve's non-invasive treatments for men and women are covered by insurance, Medicare, and FDA approved, making them accessible to everyone. Say goodbye to discomfort and embarrassment, and hello to a happier, healthier you. With several locations throughout the Valley, there's one nearby. Why wait any longer? Schedule your complimentary treatment today at stopthep.com or call 480-593-5400. Let VJuve make you a better you.
If we could get you a price that would really make you happy, would you be willing to sell your company? Are you looking for an exit strategy to turn your world-class investment into cash? If you're ready to take on a new career or even just retire and need expert advice, WCI Brokers has the knowledge to get you your maximum value. With over 5,000 successful sales, 30,000 registered buyers, and 300 years of experience, we will handle every detail. Call 602-795-2005 and pay no fees until we turn your business into cash.
If I traded it all.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Darrell Stern. He's the owner of Stern Marketing. At the break, of course, we're all in here talking about marketing and all of that because, of course, we all love it. Right? We all love that. Yeah. And I'm loving the idea about what you're talking about. And I want you to tell them what you wanted to talk about now, plus your biggest success story.
Sure. So I got lucky in 2016. I met an auto mechanic up in Denver, Colorado. That's where I lived for 10 years before coming down here to Arizona. In a couple of days, I'll be 3 years in Arizona. So he was a kind of a cocky kid, and he said, look, I want to be the number one auto mechanic in the state of Colorado, like bar none. And he had a master's degree in engineering and in physics, and he was a living Wikipedia of cars. Have you ever heard of somebody like that just knows every gear and every make and model and everything? So I said, all right, let's do it. So I set him up a website that has not one or two or three, but 60 different landing pages, separate pages, one for each and every type of car that you can drive. The reason for that is I'm looking at situational avatars. Now I'll try to explain this quickly, but here's the core of what you do, right? You fix cars. But there's lots of different reasons why someone would come in and have the car fixed, right? And that gets very specific. In other words, I have a classic 1963 Rolls Royce that's imported from London, and it has a steering shaft that's 2 degrees off from the radiator and blah, 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 blah. What I want is when someone searches for a solution to that big, long, complicated problem, for him to come up number one, right? So I'm trying to get down to the very, very specific situations that someone is in. Okay, so we have all the 60 landing pages. Those are giving people hope, which is the first thing you do in marketing. Give people hope. Make them a promise, right? If you're in this situation, I can help you. I've done it before. Join me, right? Second thing is, you prove that you can do it. Now, back in the old days when we would go on a job interview, people would ask for references, right? Like, be on your radio, Carol, you call something, be on my radio show. What radio? Like, where is it? How many listeners? Where? How big is it? Where? Like, what radio show? So you would give us evidence of what that is. So I can do that now by capturing stories of what you can teach, what you know, and what you can demonstrate. My father once told me there's a couple things that no force of nature can take away from you, which is your talent and your gift and your education. No one can take that away from you. So the more you can tap into and say, let's take people behind the scenes and let them see me during the work. Let me hear from my clients and how good they're not doing now, some from before. So I went down to a shop every week. We filmed 7 to 10 videos. Not only did I hyper optimize them on YouTube, which is the second most popular search engine in the world, I also transcribed those videos, made them into articles, and then interlinked all the different times that he would say the same words over and over again. In SEO, we call those keywords. So every time he's saying brake, carburetor, Rolls Royce, Maserati, window, roller upper, whatever the things are called, that would get linked together. So if you got this old-fashioned thing called books, I don't know if you have a book around, but if you wrote the book on auto repair, physical book, you would flip to the back of it and you would have an index, right? And it would say, brake pad, and it would show all the times that you said brake pad in your book. Well, that's what I'm doing. Google's job is to give you the best, most authoritative answer to any question that you have. So be and own and be and demonstrate that you have the best, most authoritative answers to every single question you could have. So that took him to the ceiling. He started to get all the luxury cars in town, went from $60,000 a month to $80,000, $120,000, $180,000 a month. One more part to it. So I wanted him to go viral. So if you know, these viral videos are usually like a dog that sounds like a cat, you know what I mean? Or like grandma playing tap dancing or something silly, like America's Funniest Home Videos. I tried to
go viral on an interview I did with Santa Claus.
There you go. Well, we'll have to take a look at that. Let me take a look at it, because maybe the tags are off and I can figure out how to make it viral now, because you can make something old that you did before viral. So in Colorado, a lot of people drive Jeeps. I see a lot of Jeeps here in Arizona, off-road driving. You can go off in the desert for days, all that kind of stuff. Jeep has an engineering flaw that Chrysler Fiat will do nothing about, called the death wobble. It means the wheels kind of wobble back and forth and you can go off the road and die. And people have done this in Colorado, and I'm sure they've done it other places. So you look on the internet and there's other videos that have 600,000 views, 800,000 views, 87,000 views, all with these different mechanics all over the country trying to solve the same problem. So to go viral, you want to lend your voice to the global conversation of a problem a lot of people are trying to solve. Got it? If you had the cure for COVID, right? You said, it's 2 jars of mayonnaise, some split pea soup, and vitamin D. You figured it out. You figured out how to stop COVID. You would have been viral all over the world. Everyone was searching for how to stop that COVID thing. Okay, so we make this video back in 2016. He calls me about a month later and says, I've already made $20,000 off that video. I looked, it already had 15,000 views. Now, 7 years later, it has 198,000 views, 1,500 likes, 212 comments, and he made $7.9 million off that video. So by being a little bit more strategic and analytical, but at the same time using your creative ability and your art, you can put that all in alignment to align your talents and your gifts to the problems that people are going to solve, which is the definition of business, right? Yeah. You start a business because a business solves a problem. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
The guy from Jeff Hoffman from President, he created the kiosk at the airport. Why? Because everybody's up at the ticket counter. They're all doing this by hand. Everybody's screaming and yelling, trying to take it. He said, why don't you just check in on the machine? The minute he solved that problem, next day, airport in Germany says, get your butt over here. You got to install these over here. And the thing went viral all over the world before there even was viral videos. So we've got to make sure that you can articulate your linguistic philosophy around what you really solve. Then you work with me in a Sternstorming session to brain dump all the things that you can know, that you know about this, that you can solve and that you can demonstrate. And then I've got this big list and I go, well, there it is. There's all the content that we need to do. But the one difference between me and everybody else is, instead of you trying to do it yourself or you trying to record a video every week or something like that, I come to you and I'll film 200 videos of you in 2 days. I have playwrights and novelists that write the social media posts. And of course, we're also SEO experts at the same time. So
How long are the videos?
About 4 minutes.
Okay.
4 minutes is long enough for it to have an arc to the story, and it's not too long. It's not a 20-minute thing. I don't like when people put an entire podcast on their YouTube channel, because podcast to me is radio, but that's a topic for another day, right? So they're short enough that I can get the interest enough, because you want them to buy, right? You can over-explain a sale. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want them to get interested enough so they say, yeah, where's the phone number? Go. Like, I want to do it.
Yeah, everything's like that today.
And they probably have already decided yes after 2 minutes of this kid solving this problem, right? So we don't want it to go on and on and on forever. We want it to be short enough. And then, of course, we can produce massive volumes of them. If you do 4-minute videos in an hour, how many 4 minutes are in a day, like an 8-hour work day? I don't even do math.
Figure that out right now.
I can't even figure it out either. But it's a lot. It's a lot of videos. So I've gotten up to 96 videos out of someone in a day. So that's enough content to post for months. And we did it all in a day because you are a gift to the world. The world needs your gifts. Your best marketing is already inside you. You already know all the stories that are in you that are going to make you, let's say, world famous for what you do. And with our team and the archaeology, that's a funny word, the architecture of knowing where to put these and what tags and how to transcribe them and how to SEO them and da-da-da. Now we're taking you and making you the leader in your field of that thing. So there you go.
They do that with you. All they have to do is give you a call.
Yep.
And you will come to them. You go to their business. You sit down with, obviously it has to start with a conversation and a, what do you want?
Move your mic.
Me? My mic. Wow, that's a first in 16 years. Okay, so here we are live on the show. And that's...
I'm so interesting. She lost her microphone. There you go.
You know, isn't that kind of funny? Because it is sort of true. I've been listening to you and thinking about how does that work? How can I do that? How can I do that?
No, that's awesome.
So, but what you're saying is it starts with that consultation. So you have, like, you find out a little bit about them.
Yeah.
What is their story is what it's all about.
Yeah.
And you want to bring that story out. And I like what you said. Your best marketing is already inside of you. I like that the best. Because everybody who's, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're a solopreneur too, if you're somebody that started your own business, oh my gosh, everybody really truly has that really inside of them. And there's nobody else that's going to say it any better than yourself. Do you agree with that?
Exactly. I 100% agree. Your viral influence is already inside you. The problem is, as the gentleman before us was saying, you talk yourself out of it, right? You're afraid to really show what you know. You might be afraid of success. You just need somebody with you to be your theater director for you being a star, to get out there. So if you text the word radio, RADIO, to 602-726-3890, that's radio, got it, to 602-726-3890. I'll send you a bunch of tips on marketing and also a link to schedule your consultation with me, which I'll do absolutely for free, and we can audit and look at everything that you're doing on the internet, from your Facebook posts to your landing pages to what you're posting on Instagram, and just take a look and see if it's really conveying and giving people either hope, and getting them emotionally involved, or proving that you can do it.
I'll tell you something. I know it's Friday, and a lot of people are thinking about where they want to go have a drink right now. But I will say that this is something that, thinking about your business, what a great time right now. A lot of times, people, I said it earlier, will say, oh, I'm going to wait till after. No, let's get on top of it now and make all the difference in your world, in your business world right now. That all you have to do is text the word radio, and you know how to spell it, RADIO, to 602-726-3890, and check him out on his website, which is Stern, STERN.marketing. Again, text radio to 602-726-3890. You're going to get tips on marketing and a free consultation.